Come forward and introduce our guest speaker.
I did my best.
Good afternoon, everybody. I have a great pleasure today to introduce our guest speaker, who's a very close friend of mine. We've been kind of hanging out together, and keeping in touch for the last few years. I've got about a 14-page reservoir here of all the things that she's accomplished, but I just want to hit a couple of things. I don't give her a lot of credit for being so well organized. She was raised on a dirt farm tobacco place, I think in Lansing. Lake City, I'm sorry. With 15 brothers and sisters. Hell, you have to be organized to have that. So that's how she got started. And she joined the Rotary Club, and wasn't long before she became president, right on up the ladder, district governor, and she never stopped. She went all the way to the top, to the first vice president of Rotary International, the only woman to ever hold that job. Ann's a traveler. I call her one time and she's in Detroit. A couple of days later I called her and she was Seoul, Korea. I had one other thing I wanted to find out, and she was in India giving out polio vaccine. And I didn't get all the answers to the question. I went to call her and she was in Ghana. So you can't hardly keep up with her, and she just continues to keep traveling like that. I know she must have 2 suitcases full of travel points or whatever you get for flying. So she's got a wonderful presentation, and I don't want to take up any more of her time to speak to you. So with great pleasure, I'd like to introduce to you Ann Matthews.
Thank you, Gabby. I appreciate that brief introduction. I really grew up on a tobacco farm outside of Lake City. I did have 14 brothers and sisters, but listen, I only grew up with 5 boys, okay? That's all. And many of you who know me, and a lot of you in here do know me, I'm a football nut, you know that, and I'm a South Carolina Gamecock. And I learned to love sports at a young age, because the front yard, we had a huge front yard on our tobacco farm, and my dad wanted it that way, and it was a football field, it was a baseball diamond field or whatever, and on the pack houses we had the basketball courts and everything. So I learned to play all those sports with my brothers, and I'm a sports nut today. I really am. I love it. A lot of people question that and think I've got some loose screws, but I don't. I really love sports, particularly football. And some of you've heard me say this before, that when I'm reincarnated and I come back, I'm going to be a football coach. And I'm a coach to South Carolina Gamecocks. And we're going to win, Bob, the SEC championship. Just want you to know that. We are going to do that. Whether we win or we lose, I'm a Gamecock. That's it. And I know you feel that way, too, about your team. How many of you, we should never wish our life away, but how many of you are glad that yesterday's over with? Raise your hand. Okay, now, I don't want you to tell me who, but how many of you are happy about yesterday? A few of you? Good, okay. I'm just glad it's over. I'm glad it's over. And we can get on with other things in our life. Today, ladies and gentlemen, what I want to do with you, I'm going to try to move out here, and I want to very briefly share with you some information on Ghana. I've adopted Ghana as my second home. I spent 2 weeks there in October. It was my 5th time to go. I love Ghana, I love the Ghanaians, and I love the children, and if I could, I'd bring them all back to South Carolina. But what I want to share with you is District 7770, our district, is now going to have a modern school in the Tane district. I'm a former college professor and educator, many of you know this, and my dream has been to build a modern school in Ghana, and we're doing that. And how are we doing that? With the money that this district raised And you have given money, and it came back to the district through DDF, District Designated Funds, and some of us gave money individually too. In Ghana, we're building a school, and I want to show you some things about Ghana for just a few minutes. All of these pictures may not be good, but that's okay. I took most of them, and I'm not a good photographer, okay? These are the children. I love the children. This is a big sign that's on the wall that says District 7770. This is in one of the districts, Sunyani, that we've put a lot of money in. See, we've put about $3 million in Ghana. And we have the father with us here at the front today.